Hey, welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh, and I pre-memorized it. My mind is sick. And my co-host, Jared.
I don't remember that actually from the bear.
Yes, the
episode
bear.
4.
Yeah.
Have the indignities of your childhood not yet sufficiently been avenged?
Nice. Yeah, today we are talking about The Bear, Season 3, Episode 4, and House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7?
6.
6, yes.
Yep.
6. Yeah, I was trying to think, is that the right number or 7? 6? Yeah, there's 2 more.
And presumed innocent. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll talk about it briefly. But yeah, we're not like as in depth of it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, before we get into that and what we're watching, though, so or I can talk about when we talk about the episode. Yeah, we'll get into what we're watching now and then go back to the bear. I'll tell you where the quote's from.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember.
Just remind me to bring it up. All right, so what we've been watching. You want to start with Presumed Innocent, the penultimate episode?
Sure, yeah, we can start with that.
All right. Again, another great episode. I mean, it's been a week now because I've pretty much watched it probably right after.
Right.
This is the one where he kind of pretty much starts representing himself.
Yep.
All that stuff. Yeah, that's so like all the courtroom stuff in that.
Courtroom stuff is the best part of like these kind of
it's done
movies,
so well.
which is what it's based on. But the show also, I think, yeah. So I imagine the finale is going to be really good. So
yeah. So our I guess cliffhanger here was
fire poker.
The fire poker
at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Tommy Malto's house.
Yes.
Yep.
So who do you think did it?
Who do I think like put that there?
No. Who do you think actually killed her?
Oh, I don't want to say because it's the movie. I don't think it's changed from the movie.
Oh, okay.
At this point.
Okay.
I think it'd be cool if they change it, but I think it's
okay.
So I don't want to say.
Okay. So
what do you think? At this point now, because you haven't seen the movie or read the book.
Yeah. So I think
this is last chance, last predictions.
I know. My money's still on Tommy Malta.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
By the way, which is Peter Sarsgaard, he was so good in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't stand the other guy's voice.
Mm-hmm.
That was a choice that he made to talk like that.
Yeah.
There's no way the director or anyone else was like, talk like this. There's no way. Like he just did it and I guess they were fine with it. And it's weird. I don't understand it. But no, Tommy Malto, yeah, he was really good in this. This is one of the best episodes.
For his performance, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was well, I was gonna say is the other kind of is the son, but I think that's too easy.
Okay. Wait, which son?
The son of the lady who died.
Okay.
Like that took the photos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also got his buddy came back because it was just a minor surgery.
Yeah, not even they said it wasn't even a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was just. Yeah, that's funny. That was that was a good misdirect.
Mm-hmm.
Like ending the last episode with that. And then the start of this. Of course, they're like really worried at the beginning. The way it opens is good, but then it's like, no, all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which that was definitely something added. I don't remember that in the movie.
Well, you had to add some other plot elements for it to last.
Yeah, of course. There's other
8 hours versus 2 hours.
One of the main things just because I watched the movie again recently is there's like nothing. Well, no. I shouldn't say that, but there's a lot less involving the main kids, the son and the daughter.
Okay.
In the movie. So
All right. So what's something else you watched?
I don't have a lot again.
Okay.
There's a lot going on right now, but Kite Man is a new animated show on Max that just came out. And did you ever watch the Harley Quinn animated show that's
No.
on Max? Okay, this is a spinoff of that, which is actually like he's like one of the best characters on the Harley Quinn animated show, Kite Man, and now he has his own show. But what's cool is a lot of the characters in the Legion of Doom are in this show as well as Harley Quinn. So it's just the humor is really good in it, and it is in Harley Quinn as well. But that show has been going like there's like 4 seasons of that already, which is crazy. And it kind of got not as great towards the end, but this is I like this a lot so far. So yeah, I wanted to mention that because I don't have a lot more that I checked it, because also like I watch very little of this and the next thing that I'll mention when we talk about, like very little bit. I just wanted to at least check out some new stuff before, just because I like to every week if there is something new, even if I don't get to watch a whole episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I watched. So something else. Cobra Kai season 6 started.
Oh man, you're all caught up on it. Like to watch the new season.
Oh yeah, I had been. I mean, like I watched.
Man, I am way behind.
Yeah. But it's
the show's sick though.
It's always it's the same cheesy but fun.
Yeah.
That it's been, and it's great. And
it's a good continuation of the 80s feel of the movies.
Yeah. But yeah, so nothing bad to say. It's if you liked it from the get go, it's still going strong.
I feel like you probably liked it a lot as a kid, the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Done a lot of standing on one leg and jumping and kicking the other leg.
Yeah.
Wax on, wax off.
Yep. This is the...
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's probably why I took karate when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, true. Probably. This is the final season, right?
Correct, but they're only doing part 1.
Yeah, the Netflix thing.
Part 2 is in like December or November. I don't know. It's in a couple months. It's weird. They're spreading it out that much because, like, for instance, the other thing that's coming out soon that, I'm sure is not something you watch, but Emily in Paris, the new season on Netflix.
You watch that?
Oh, yeah. I like it. It's good.
Okay.
But part 1 comes out in August, and then part 2 is in September. And they did the same thing with the Bridgerton season.
Yep,
it was like it was just a month apart. So then that's more just so you got to at least keep the subscription for 2 months. You can't just get it for a month and watch it all, unless you wait till it's all there. But but it's weird the Cobra Kai spread out so much. I wonder if it's just because they don't have it. They're not going to have it all. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for that.
I don't know, but it's still good. I mean, every season, at least from what I've seen so far, has been good.
Yeah. No,
hasn't really dipped at all.
I don't think so.
Nice.
Not this one and last season. I mean, I feel like there was definitely somewhere, maybe season 3. I feel like there was like where it was kind of like, okay, we're getting a little repetitive, And
with what, like the type of plot?
Just the back and forth of like. And then I think they kind of found a route to like, because I know last season was good. They brought in some new stuff, and then this season seems like it's so yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's something else you get?
Lady in the Lake on Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Did you check it out?
Watch both episodes.
All right. I didn't even watch a whole episode yet. But what I'm really interested the most in this is, did they actually film it in Baltimore? And I was trying to look it up and see.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Did they?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
No, I know so.
Really?
Yeah.
You got inside info?
Oh, my inside info. I just know that they were promoting as a production that was shot in Maryland.
Cool. Okay.
And then also I do know that a kid actor that was in 2 commercials I did last year, he's in this.
That's right. I remember you mentioning this a while back.
He hasn't shown up in these 2 episodes that I've noticed, unless he's just like a background extra, but I don't think he's a background extra.
I think he actually has a part of the plot.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sick. I well, I was just wondering because like the very beginning, is like they're out on the street, right? They're seeing that whole was it
Yeah.
a parade?
Parade.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, and I was trying to like I was looking at streets signs and stuff. Now again, this is in the '60s, but I was wondering like, did they film this in Baltimore and then just change stuff like they normally would have to do for a
Yeah.
period show? But I couldn't tell really. But so confirmed though,
Hmm.
Baltimore,
Yeah.
awesome. As far as the show though, like I didn't watch much of it yet, but like seems interesting so far. But yeah, what do you think of it?
I think it's good so far. I mean, it's really intriguing. The period stuff is really cool.
Done really well.
Done really well. Yeah, it's so far good. It's interesting because it hasn't, even after 2 episodes, it's kind of really hasn't gotten into like the broader mystery.
Which is interesting because I think this is only like 6 episodes, maybe. I think it's shorter. And it's a mini series, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, Natalie Portman's always great. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's it's good. I mean, I'll keep watching, I'm sure.
This is like it's like Jake Gyllenhaal in Presumed Innocent.
Yeah.
You got someone big that's not normally in TV.
Do a miniseries.
Do a miniseries, yeah.
Cool. Anything else in your?
Just last thing is finish The Boys. Did you finish?
I did
The
too.
Boys?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about it. This is my last thing anyway.
Okay.
For this week. Still a good season.
Yeah.
But a little underwhelming
Okay.
for a finale. What do you think?
You think? I feel
We're
like
gonna do spoilers anyway. By the way,
yes.
Just
Spoilers for season 4 of The Boys. I thought they made some bold moves there at the end. I mean, pretty much.
I think the very end, I thought more was going to happen. Think that.
But I mean, like
specifically.
having Butcher
Yeah, that part was interesting. What he did,
like what the heck?
Yeah.
And then like kill the lady that's been a threat for a long time.
Congresswoman. Yeah,
And
Newman.
And then he
Victoria
obviously has other powers now that he didn't have.
Mhm.
It's super weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are, but and then having the other people get, what was it, they trapped because they brought in some of the
The two from
yes.
Gen V. Yeah.
Yep. And then what's her name? The assistant lady, the studio head lady, like she took like Compound V.
Right. That was something after the episode ended I was thinking about because you see her take it and she starts to transform and then you don't hear anything else from her.
Right, because I'm sure they're waiting to reveal.
I guess, but after the episode was over, I was like, wait, what happened with her?
Yeah, I mean,
it was weird for them to stop it at that point with her.
Well, if you don't want to, either you don't want to worry about committing to what her powers are going to be because
they're probably still deciding.
We'll figure that out for next season. What makes sense? But I mean, more just the fact. What to me is interesting is like her as a character finally being able to have powers to theoretically stand up to the soups that have been they've been pushing her around forever. But like, I mean, obviously, no matter. I mean, you have soups and then you have Homelander and Soldier Boy and people like that. But then, you've got the kid too, his son. So
I did like that they were going to bring Soldier Boy back, which is I think a good decision for the final season of the show. Because he just brought a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting also is now, like, if he's going to be on Homelander's side, it's like unstoppable, right? Because they woke him up initially to, like, he's the only one that could go toe to toe with Homelander. And now, if he's with Homelander, it's gonna be crazy for the final season. So I have no doubt the final season is gonna be good. I think they'll end it well, and I still like this season too, but it's There was a little bit that I think wasn't as good as previous seasons, and I think, like you mentioned, I think they were going a little too crazy with the. You talked about like the political stuff
Yeah, I mean they did it a little bit. I
because
don't
they've
know.
always been good with doing that, but
I
I think they like it went. It was like a lot
yeah,
this season,
mid
right?
season there was some stuff in there. I was like, huh, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying. Like it's kind of a little bit of you can tell that it didn't have as much of a finish. Well, it's not like the good guys kind of had a decent, like, hey, we successfully did the thing. Because most seasons I feel like they kind of, yes, there was like maybe there's some bad outcome that they was unexpected, but it was like, hey, but we were able to do what we were trying to do for this season, like the story arc. And this one didn't really have that as much, and I think that's what you're kind of alluding to.
yeah,
Probably because they knew, oh, well, the next one's the last one, so we're not as worried about trying to continue, and we can just kind of almost set ourselves up for like ending strong instead of trying to wrap things up in a nice bow at the end of the season.
yeah. But now I'm thinking about it. What are they going to do with Gen V season 2? Because
That's
that will be next
in between,
first.
yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
And so are some of these people from The Boys going to be in that season, or these two Gen V characters are just not going to really be in season 2 of Gen V?
We still don't know what happened because at the end of Gen V, remember all the like quote unquote good students were all in one room together,
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and we don't know what that. So I'm imagining that'll step in. They will probably have to step in and maybe help on our good guys side, and
Yeah. Whenever they do the final season of The Boys, I imagine, since it's going to be the finale, I think they'll probably try to do not as crazy scale as like Avengers Endgame, but I bet they'll try to get as many people together from even Gen V, like get a whole ensemble to kind of like for an ending. Like I think they'll probably do something like that.
yeah, maybe.
It'd be cool. But yeah, so overall, I mean, I still like the season. It's just, at the very end, I don't know, underwhelming. That's the best word I can use to describe it. So,
There's one other thing that we watched
that you watched,
that we both
that we
watched.
both watched.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we went right after recording last week. Yeah,
yep.
we could talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a retro showing of the original film Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it was sick.
I don't think I have ever. I mean, I don't think I saw it in the theaters originally, so I've never seen it on a big screen. So it was fun to do that and watch it in a room full of people that were basically fans of the film. And
Definitely.
yeah, it was. It's one of those our local theater calls it Film League, but like that kind of idea of like showing different types of classic films and different genres it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I love that they're doing that. They say they're doing Kurosawa next?
There's a Kurosawa movie next year.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, and speaking of movies, which I'll be able to talk about next week, but Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm seeing tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
So I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on Tuesday.
Okay. Nice.
Well, speaking of movies, I also saw Twisters last night.
Dude, okay. Didn't know that you saw this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was really good.
Good.
I mean, plot is pretty much predictable, but it was a lot of fun. It was good. It was good.
When's the last time you saw the original?
I have no idea.
I was thinking about watching the original because it'd been a long time.
Probably,
Before watching
probably
the new
been
one.
20 years or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember when I saw it last.
I bet the movie still holds up too, though. Wasn't it? Was that Spielberg? I think if he didn't direct it, I know he was involved somehow with.
I think you're right, because this one was Amblin Entertainment. And
there you go.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think he directed it though.
Well, besides the two main people, who else is in this? Like anyone recognizable? Because I actually don't know.
Actually, I meant to look up because the one guy kind of looks familiar, but I didn't.
There's Glenn Powell, the girl. I know who she is. I forget the actress's name.
Yeah, wasn't familiar with her.
Oh, you weren't?
Yeah. But because I don't think I've seen anything else she was in. But Daisy Edgar Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
I know she's. Yeah, Maura Tierney, whatever you say.
Oh yeah.
She's in it, and like she just plays the main character's mom.
Cool. I mean, she was big in like the 80s and 90s. I want to say, yeah.
Liar, liar, right?
Oh yeah, that is her. Yeah. Yeah, she was probably the biggest in the 90s thing because there was a few other movies I've seen recently in the 90s that she was in.
I think, is it this guy?
By the way, just a side note, because I've watched like a few movies again from the 90s.
Yep.
I feel like very underrated decade. Like I feel like enough people don't talk about how great of a decade for movies in general the 90s was.
This guy, David Corna Sweat.
Oh, he's going to be Superman.
That's who I've seen.
Yeah.
So he's in it.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was like, he looks familiar, but I couldn't place what I'd seen him in. But maybe it's because I've only just seen him for the. Because like I don't know if I've seen any of this other stuff. Oh, he's in Lady in the Lake. Maybe that's what I was just because it was just he's in 4 episodes of Lady in the Lake.
Oh, I didn't see him in it. At least what I watched so far of it.
That is what it.
Okay,
that's what it is. Yes.
Cool.
That's where I saw him. Yeah, because I'm looking at the rest of his, and like I haven't seen any of this. Oh, that show Hollywood miniseries on Netflix.
Yeah, you were mentioning that show. I haven't seen it, but
to watch that. So he was
okay.
He was in one episode of House of Cards.
Was he in like some like CW superhero show? Because I feel like he was involved in another superhero thing.
Not
at one point, maybe not. We don't think of someone else.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like. Yeah. Anyway. Future Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm speaking of just not watching trailers.
Yes.
The amount of trailers for Deadpool and Wolverine is outrageous, and I stopped after the very first one.
Yeah, I haven't watched.
There is so many.
I did watch the like first teaser, and then I was like,
and I don't know why. Like,
well,
they don't need a market.
Are they real trailers?
They might not be. They might be playing with it, but I just didn't want to. Yeah,
because with Ryan Reynolds is like notorious for doing like random parody weird things, like goofy things with
true,
and it just be like him and Hugh Jackman promoting some random product, and it's not like a real trailer or something.
That's true.
So I don't know. I'm not watching them, but I'm just saying like they could be just.
Yeah, if it's that, then I'll definitely watch them because that's great. But there's been so many trailers. At least they say they're Deadpool and Wolverine trailers, and it's like it doesn't need the promotion. So yeah, if they're doing it, they're just doing it for fun and just doing random stuff like that.
So real quick, watched a Netflix movie, Mother of the Bride.
Okay.
Yeah, it was what you expect for the film. Oh no, you're gonna have me look it up again, like stuff.
Is this just like is this connected to Father of the Bride?
No.
Okay.
I thought maybe, but no, it's not. Has Brooke Shields
Oh, okay.
and then
Another
Benjamin
old
Bratt.
Okay.
And they're like the kind of, and then it has Chad Michael Murray.
Oh, yep.
They're like the older, and then like the people that are the younger people that are getting married is Miranda Cosgrove and then Sean Teal, but they're not people I recognize from anything. But it was just one of those. It's like a romantic comedy kind of thing, and it's decent for that kind of thing. Like
It's decent.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not terrible.
So it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah. Yes.
They do a lot of those. It's just like, yeah, this is fine. Okay.
Little Vision Pro corner. They released a new Apple immersive video with a hot air balloon like story about. It was very cool and too short, even though it was like 8 minutes long. Like I was like
Too short.
I'm like I was watching. I'm like, oh, it's over. I just want to be up and floating in a hot air balloon more because it was really cool.
Nice.
And then the last little trailer corner. Did you watch Drop Today? The Bad Monkey trailer.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. August 14th.
Yeah.
Bad Monkey.
There was another trailer recently. Oh, there was a new Dune Prophecy trailer.
Oh, yes.
The show.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about. Very cautious about it too, though.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, visually, it's looking good from the trailers.
The first trailer was not that exciting, but this new one was way more exciting.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'll watch
glad
it.
we're getting a Dune show, but could be not great.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I mean, yeah, we were all excited for getting Star Wars TV shows and then
Yeah.
see how that went. I still can't believe there's people that actually think the Acolyte is good.
Who's saying that?
There's people. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like action, yes.
Yeah.
Some camera work and things like that, yes.
So people specifically saying like, this is a great story.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, a guy on a podcast that's like a legitimate like critic, and I'm like, I don't respect you at all anymore.
No.
But anyway,
Well, last week I was talking about, speaking of the Acolyte, was talking about the shadowy figure.
yes,
It is confirmed, Darth Plagueis. And I had to show you the clip because you apparently didn't see it watching the
I must
episode.
have looked at. I mean, like everything leading up to it, I'm like, yes, I remember this. Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
remember
remember
this.
all-
And I must have like just glanced at my phone or something for a hot second because I missed it. I guess that's why you don't like do two things at once when you're watching TV.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's get into The Bear. Season 3, Episode 4, Violet. Synopsis. Sydney gets a new apartment and Marcus finds some inspiration.
Okay. This is the final one that I've seen when I watched a chunk of them. I remember her, getting the new place. And then this is Marcus speaking at the funeral.
No, that was in last
No, that was last episode.
episode.
So what is he doing in this one?
Yeah, this one he finds like a flower, the violet flower that he takes a picture of. And
Right. Okay.
yeah,
And
so
what
she
else
did
happens?
get, I mean, this one, the beginning is the apartment.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the opening is, there's like a really slow fade from black. And it's Carmi like dreaming or remembering interaction with him and the girl he was like into dating.
Okay, yeah.
And they're like talking.
Yep.
And then it shows the alarm and he wakes up. Like, so I assume it was like supposed to be him dreaming or remembering about something that actually happened. And then you go to her looking at the apartment, her new apartment and stuff. But and then we see Marcus like just walking the streets and sees like a flower he takes a picture of. And
Mm-hmm.
so, well, first of all, the quote that I used was from this episode when the I don't know what his name is actually. But the guys that like kind of screw up. He's like the one that like when he went to serve and he just poured it in front of him and brought it back. He didn't.
Yeah.
It's that dude. But this one
I don't remember his name either.
Him and his like other goofball buddy like.
Yep.
They printed off a bunch of pictures of all the food critics and like hung them up in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Carmi come in, and then he's like, "This is good. Put them in a binder and keep them on the hostess desk." And then the one guy's like says to the other guy, he's like, "Dude, like we need to memorize these." He's like, "I already did." He's like, or no, he's like,
I remember this. Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, I just printed them off. How'd you remember?" He's like, "I pre-memorized them."
Pre-memorized them. Yep.
And he's like, "Dude, your mind's sick."
Yeah.
Just love
those two are great interacting with each other too. It's like them two and Richie and Carmi are like the two duos that like I think have the best dialogue interactions.
Yeah. So, but then we have the stuff for Richie with his kid, which was cute, and his daughter. And then he has to take her over, and then Josh Hartnett, is the ex-wife's fiance.
My fiance. Where's my fiance? That scene was great. Yeah, when they were outside. That was a very long scene too.
Yeah,
right?
He's like, "Can I talk to you?"
Yeah, that was good.
He's like, "This is awkward,"
mm-hmm.
but yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was the kind of scenes the bear does the best.
Yeah. It was a little interesting with Tina. She was shopping for food, and they were like, "Oh, farmers can't grow as much because she couldn't find what she was looking for."
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the other scene that was funny with Natalie and Richie in the office, and she's like learning about the stars and what they mean, the Michelin stars.
Yeah.
And he says something. He's like, I don't need something with like a tire company or something.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, and then he's like, I was more of a Goodyear or something like.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just some good lines in there.
I'm glad they made that joke because that's what I always think about.
Yeah,
the Michelin
100%.
star. I'm like, why is it Michelin?
Why Michelin tires? What does it got to do with it?
Right. Yeah.
It probably has nothing to do with it, but
no,
that's what you think of.
Right. That's what you think of naturally. Yeah.
But yeah, then we end the episode with them all finding out that the Tribune calls to come take photos. And then, of course, Carmi's the first one that says crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Why are you saying crap?" And then he's like, "Because that means the food critic already came."
Yep.
So the pre-memorization did not work out.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I think those. So, like I mentioned about the scenes, like with Richie and Josh Hartnett, like those like really long kind of
dialogue.
Yeah, and I want to say it's normally just static. Even like I don't think there's normally even like a push in, right, with those like longer dialogue. It's normally just sits there. It's not even a what do you call that? 2-camera or whatever. Yeah, it's normally just sits there and they just go. But yeah, these kind of things also, like the end of this episode with that, they do some clever stuff with the dialogue where it's setting up like the next episode like that with like they're like, what does this mean? They're like, oh, he already came. You already know about these food critics because they mentioned them and the Michelin stars, and then it was a good way to end the episode. From what I remember, I watched it a while ago now.
Yeah.
But that's how. So it kind of ends on his line talking about that. Is that?
Yeah, that's
okay.
The scene it ends on is like them all being like realization of what's getting ready to happen, or that already happened. I guess they get photos for. But yeah, so I think it was good. I mean, it still didn't. It moves the plot forward a little bit, mainly there at the end, but also like the there was an interaction where Sydney runs into the other guy from the other restaurant.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I snuck in and or something." And he's like, "Yeah, it had some scallops. And they were tasted new. It was good.
Mhm.
Didn't it tasted like it wasn't carmy?" And then she's like, "Well, we've both been working on stuff." So, and then she's hesitant to sign the bear partner agreement.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a big thing probably the second half of the season. Is a
Yeah.
lot of conflict with them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a decent episode. I mean, they're short. Still not a lot happened, but a little bit happened.
Well, it's good also if you keep it like in your head when you're watching this season. Just keep in mind like this is going to be stretched over this in the fourth season when it comes out, so if it's just a little like not as much, seems like not as much is going on, that's why. And they're gonna end it strong, fourth season and everything, just because it's been so good consistently. But if it's a little slow or not moving as fast as you would like, just keep that in mind. There's a reason for that.
Yes.
Because I think that's going to probably be most of this season. It's not going to be as much as like the other two seasons. I don't think as much is going to happen. But then it's probably going to be like fourth season's probably going to be like one of the best seasons ever, though. It's like
Maybe.
we'll see.
Yeah.
It's hard to top season 1 and 2.
Yes. And it's like, and then stick the landing on stuff is hard.
Sure is.
So ending is the hardest part of it. Most things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of modern stuff we talk about, that's kind of, whether it's a TV show or a movie, I feel like we talk about that a lot. I feel like that's the thing that filmmakers struggle with the most with like newer movies or shows.
Yeah.
Seems to happen a lot.
Cool. Well, anything else about that episode? I don't think.
Nope.
All right. So then, House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 6, Small Folk.
Small folk.
Yeah. With few options left, Rhaenyra embarks on a risky venture while Aemon takes steps to reshape the Green Council. All right. So, thoughts on the episode overall?
Not my favorite episode, but there was still a few scenes especially that I thought were really strong. And I think it's kind of a setup for the final 2 of the season. So it's still good though. Like it's it's just not I guess not quite as much happens, because actually kind of the main thing I was thinking was going to happen more is a lot more Dragon Rider tryouts. There wasn't not that much. Because they were looking the way last episode ended. Like we think they're going through the history books or like.
Yes.
So I thought there's gonna be a lot more people that they are finding.
I guess there's not that many out there.
I guess not as many as they thought. But yeah, what'd you think of this episode?
Yeah, I mean, it was all around solid episode. Not as much happened.
Yeah.
Just moving some pieces around on the board, so to speak. And, but yeah, some good scenes, which we'll get into. I think, so again, I know we still have 2 episodes left, but I think all in all, this season's been stronger than season 1.
For sure.
But I think it's still lacking what's the word I want? I don't want to say magic is not the right word, but I mean, dragons, I guess, are there, and that's a thing like that. But like the thing that Game of Thrones had was there was always this extra Like you had the White Walkers, you had like there was like a little bit more of a fantasy, I guess maybe that's the right word, like sprinkled in, right? I mean, you have the lady in the red that was like 500 years old, even though like she looked like she was 35.
Yeah.
And like, so like just like, and it's not like heavy, which is, one thing I appreciate about it. It's not like in your face. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings or like some of these, but like then you have like elves, you have all these things that are like, it's very like fantasy.
Yeah.
But it, it had some elements of it. And I think other than just the dragons being there, like we really don't have that. And I think it's what's keeping this from becoming like as good, I think, for me.
Okay.
I mean, obviously from like, I think it's just like those little elements of.
Well, I think what you're thinking of, which is some of my favorite from this season, is the stuff with Damon there. Like that's a little more getting into the fantasy side. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, that's their attempt at it, but a
little more maybe magical.
Right. But I think other than the nightmares he's having are sometimes interesting because this week we got his brother back and those like it's kind of, I mean, they brought back young Rhaenyra last week, like from that perspective. But in general, that everything that's happening there doesn't is the most boring part of these episodes to me.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I know you said that, and I'm sure they obviously thought it was worth writing and putting in there. Now,
to be clear, though, it's like I don't know why he's there for the whole season.
Yeah,
because it seems like that's probably going to be the case. Which is weird, but I really like. That's actually one scene which I'll mention. Well, I guess I go ahead and mention it now, because actually it's both Damon scenes I thought were really good, or I really liked in this episode. Obviously, the scene with Damon envisioning his brother Viserys sitting on the throne. That was great. Obviously, Paddy Considine. That's his name. That's the actor's name. Yeah. It's great to see him in this. And actually later it was cool. We got a second scene with him again too. But anyway, so I liked that scene. And then the one, I think it's immediately after it, the scene with Damon and Alice, or magical lady, or whatever we think she is, outside of Harrenhal, next to the weirwood tree. You also see Caraxes kind of in the distance. This was one of my favorite scenes from the episode. Their interaction and what they talk about in this, I thought was really interesting. And it was also cool to see her. It wasn't like a specific magic thing, but it's kind of like she had like that bird or owl like kind of appear out of nowhere. Like that was cool. Or falcon, whatever it was. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was an owl. But
was it an owl? Okay.
I think.
But yeah, it's still. The only thing I wish though is that we get a little bit more about like. The mystery has been going too long though, of like what she is.
Or what's going on there.
Right. Yeah.
And because I mean, the more I think about it, it's like, because there was all that side stuff with, I'm sure now it's been so long since I watched Game of Thrones, but with the one Stark daughter, the younger one, and she.
Arya.
Yeah. And she went off and like learned to be those like crazy cool assassins that kind of had like special stuff. So you have like that kind of stuff. I mean, even just when they visit one of the other, I guess, regions, and then what's his name, which Pedro Pascal played, and comes back and he fights, and like so like just seeing other regions, like kind of, whereas like we're stuck in this like small area for the most part. They teased Winterfell, but they haven't really done anything with that.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, still no Starks really, or Winterfell. Yeah.
And then there was, I mean, even the stuff with, again, spoilers, Jon Snow coming back, like there's just like, there was like some added fantasy, mystical things that like elements that were there to me were done well. And like this, I really haven't had it. And season 1 or episode, yes, season 1. And then even season 2, it's like, there's this little bit, and to me, it's like been pretty meh. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's not as much in this show, but maybe we'll get into that more. I don't know. Maybe there's just not a lot even in the whole book, the Targaryen history or whatever. I guess there's not a lot besides obviously that their main thing they were known for is the dragons, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I still enjoy the episode because I like the talking and rooms and stuff is good. And then it was, so we'll get into, it was interesting. The Lannister guy, Jason Lannister, just thought it was funny. Like they've always been causing issues, like even this, like here, and he's just like, yeah. So you show up with a dragon, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just they were a pain in the butt in Game of Thrones, and they're a pain in the butt. Here.
Always, yeah.
Those dang Lannisters. The whole thing with in the Green Council, Aemon like basically, I mean, dismissing his mom, it was like that scene was great.
Yeah.
But then also when he like kind of almost sets up what's his name, the kind of the Weasley guy, sets up to him to think that like he wants him to be the hand, and then like he's like, no, find me Otto Hightower. He's served well.
Yep, Otto's the best.
Yeah,
best hand. Yeah, I which is good because I've been wondering where he's at and when he's going to come
then
back.
We find out like he's not been responsive to anybody. Right. So then it's like, well, is he alive? Did he retire on a beach somewhere and said, I'm done?
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah. I've put my time in.
He definitely did, yeah. Yeah, Aemond is like, I mean, he was cocky anyway, but like at this point, it's like, it's another level.
Yeah, when he goes in and visits his brother and takes him to like little giant marble.
Yeah, and he's like so condescending about it, where he's like, he's got a long road, of like recovery. Yes. Like, but I mean, it's also because he's trying to convince everyone of that because
he wants to stay in power.
Right, but also it's like his brother might be like, you tried to kill me, dude. There'd be a lot, there's a lot of potential that could happen. Once his brother could talk and actually, or remembers what happened, Yeah,
there was something I was thinking. So aren't the Targaryens like fireproof?
I don't know.
Because like, what's her name from in Game of Thrones? Like she was able to survive.
Oh yeah, fire. That's right. Yeah,
so
Daenerys. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so I was just something I was thinking about because then we get to the other scene. Mm-hmm. But then once I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, wait a minute, what about, Aemon's brother, the guy that was
Aegon,
yeah. Like, what about him? Like, why is he burning so much if he was?
Maybe it's only. I think they mentioned something about the Valyrian blood is like what bonds with the dragons the most, or a combination of that and Targaryen. So maybe if you're like pure Valyrian, I don't remember what Daenerys was, maybe like
she was Targaryen.
She didn't have any Valyrian at all.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe then, or the opposite. Maybe if you're pure Targaryen, then you're good with fire. I guess we could see because I don't know who is. Like I'm assuming Rhaenyra is. Well, yeah, I guess she would be. But then like, yeah, so maybe she is, and maybe Aemond or Aegon, um, isn't pure. I don't know. He could be.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's definitely not pure because he's Alicent's
That's right. Yeah.
son.
So that could be the reason why. I don't know. Like, if that was a big thing, that's a big thing for them to just like mess up.
Yeah,
so there's for sure like a reason.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah.
It was like some of the things that
that's a good point.
I was like, I don't know how this works. Like,
yeah.
Why was she fireproof and then they're not? Anyway, it was just a thought. That leads us to Sir Stefan Darklyn. Sir Stefan Darklyn.
Yeah. It's funny this is like,
this scene was so good.
It was. It's just funny that's like Rhaenyra's like act of desperation. Like this is the only person she could find that's like, oh yeah, you should be fine. To command Sea Smoke and
bond with it,
bond and then command it, yeah. But I mean, whether he is or not, which clearly he wasn't, but it's like his approach too was not great. It was not great.
He was so slow and hesitant, and then he's kind of like, "I did it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
But also, like, it's done so that it looks like Sea Smoke's like willing. Because he's like kind of pulls the side and like brings it down so like someone could get on.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like moving so slow that you're like,
maybe Sea Smoke changed his mind then. Because at first he was like, yeah, and then like the way this person was acting and approaching, he was like, oh, never mind, this guy's
a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that scene though, when they're all on fire,
I know,
looked so real.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one, like, I don't know what you call him, like the dragon tamer or whatever those people are, like slitting his throat because he was burning, just didn't want to deal.
Yeah,
Dustin.
It was a good way to showcase that, to where like this is the worst way to die. So if you're already on fire, just kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sticking with Sea Smoke then,
mm-hmm.
Why did it choose this Adam guy?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's half Valerian, because he's the son of the...
Right.
But those guys are sons of, what's his name?
Mm-hmm. Corlys?
Yeah. And so he's half Valerian.
Okay.
But like they wouldn't be on record, so she wouldn't be able to know about them when she was looking at all this stuff, because
they were that's true.
Illegitimate children of his.
Yep, whole lot of that in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's actually, I feel like it's probably weirder if you meet someone that doesn't have illegitimate kids.
Right.
You know, like
especially a noble person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're like, what? You don't have any?
Yeah. But yeah, but I think it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
It'd be nice that they have another dragon rider on that side of the fence, on the black side. But yeah,
we'll have two more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens. I try not to watch the
I don't. Yeah, next time I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But I want. Do you think we're gonna get conflict in this next one? Like a bigger conflict again?
What I hope happens is, since there's only two more, I hope it kind of just escalates through the whole last two. Like I'm hoping that's like basically like a movie. You know, the last two.
I feel like I don't feel like there's enough set up in this to really go right into conflict unless it's like just
Well, speaking of, I think what you said last week, like I think we are gonna get
the
Damon
baby.
and Aemond fighting. Remember we were
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
that. I think it's gonna happen, which would be good. But now it's like with Damon with an army too. It's like we'd have 3 different
Yeah.
armies. I don't
Battle
know.
of 3 armies, not 5 armies.
Is that what it's called in The Hobbit? 5
Yes.
armies.
That's the end of that's the last chapter of the book.
Right.
Well, I think instead of that section's called Battle
Yep.
of 5 armies, which is what they named the third movie.
Third movie. Yeah, that movie was not good.
I've never seen it.
You're not missing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Not
watch
missing
it though
anything.
at some point. But I never watched it when I was like, no.
Yeah.
Don't bother seeing it in the theater, and then I just never got to watch it, which
No.
is, yeah.
My only other note is I thought it was weird and didn't make sense. Rhaenyra and Mysaria kissing.
Well, I was gonna say, so Masaria's her plan with the food. So we had that, and
Yeah.
I think
That was good.
that worked well.
Yes, it did.
Like that was like really cool. Seed some doubt, like with some whispering, and then dump a bunch of food from boats, and so I thought that was cool. I don't know. I mean, like
It just didn't seem like
I think
set up well. Kind of seemed like out of nowhere.
I didn't feel it that way as much.
No?
I think they're 2 people that have been bonding over time because
That's true.
They actually are able to be themselves in front of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know definitely we've seen that more from Rhaenyra, and then she kind of opens up and is like, and then just kind of flat out says like, you're the first person that I'm let my guard down on since I was a child, and my father basically screwed me over.
Right.
And so, and then that vulnerability, I honestly think like it was just like kind of a in the moment thing, right? Like I think Rhaenyra really was hugging her like, hey, thank you for sharing, I care about you as a person. And then like in that moment, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll see if it goes anywhere. Like that's where I think,
Right.
like if Allison's like, oh, now they're like lovers, and then you're like, well, maybe that's a little.
Yeah.
But if it's just like it was just like like in the moment, and then like got interrupted, and then they just kind of don't speak of it again, then like that's also okay, and I don't think that would bother me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they did a good job with, because obviously the episode's called Small Folk, like seeing how big of an impact all those people have on, and had such a big impact on the plans that, the Greens and the Blacks have.
Yeah, which we didn't touch on the Allison and her daughter when they were over at the key, the crypt. What do they call it? Right? The crypt, not crypt. The church. They call it something else. They were at they had to rush them out
Oh yeah.
because the mobs are getting in, and
Yeah.
like they
Was that the Sept?
Sept,
Or was it a
that's the
different
word,
place?
Sept, yes.
Okay.
That's the word I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
I said crypt, and I was like, I knew that was right.
Yeah.
It's the Sept. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
They were at the Sept, and then like, and that was a well done scene too. I think the way it kind of escalated, I think it's one of the strength of the storytelling, and I guess the decisions, or the ambitiousness of Game of Thrones, and then also this is like, because they kill people off, and they will kill people off. Those kind of scenes have a lot more impact, because you're just like, it could go anywhere. Whereas like your average show, like there's like those people that you're just like, well, like Twister, for example, watching that film, like there's so many people that get sucked in and die in these tornadoes. but our main two people are also in situations where they're super close to that happening, but you know it's not going to happen because you know
Yeah.
that the main two actors not going to get sucked into a tornado. So, and again, it doesn't make it bad. It's just it's just the reality. And
It's a different kind of movie or show. Yeah.
and there's plenty of shows that are like that too. And so, but this show, they do such a good job of one having, a rounded out cast of characters that all have some depth to them, so that like if any one of them died, it wouldn't be like the end of the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then it allows them that flexibility to do that. Now I know they have to go off of books that have, and so if you've read the books, you probably know a little bit more who dies and what. But yeah, as a non-book reader, yeah, I mean those situations like that. Same thing with the end with after Aegon like fell and he's laying there and you're like, he could be dead.
Could have been it.
He could be dead, and the show would be fine, and it would be an interesting twist. Or he survived, like he did, but yet he's laying in bed and not really able to get up anymore. So same thing with Alicent and the I forget her name, her daughter / the Aegon's wife. Yeah,
not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, like you could see either one of them dying or both or whatever in that situation. And though I do think Alicent and Rhaenyra have a little more plot armor than anybody else.
I think so. Yeah.
So I'd be surprised
at this point.
I'd be surprised of Alicent, because it's like kind of like they were the best friends growing up that then got split into these two halves. So, but yeah.
But I mean, they could, depending on how many seasons we're going to get of this show.
Right.
And you could die at the end of it.
Well, definitely die at some point.
I know. We don't know if this show is going to cover it or not.
But yeah, it's interesting. Any other thoughts on this episode? Where do you think we're going next? Like, what do you think is going to be a next episode? Like you said, so you think Daemon's got an army?
Well, he's trying to. Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's going to be 3 sides now, essentially.
Yeah. The other thing we forgot, there's the other dragon in the Vale. A wild dragon.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to come into play, but
I'm sure it will, though, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that girl will tame it that wasn't given a dragon before.
Yeah. It is crazy that they're just Rhaenyra's down to, what'd she say? Did she say in this episode, I think, right? Like 2 dragons? Right? She says something about, and like only like a couple riders too, or something like.
But I mean, they only have there's just her and Jace, right? That are the riders that are left.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
No, wait. No, there's the her older daughter. We just didn't see her that all this episode. She's still around.
Oh yeah.
So they would have,
and she has a dragon.
Yeah. So then like 3.
But speaking of dragons, we get to see the baby ones. Yeah, scene in this episode.
Yeah, playing in the. Yeah, that was cute. Yeah. All the kids playing with, and they had like little toy ones, and then the real dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this show's still. I mean, really, all the CG is like top notch, but especially on the dragons.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because it's just, I don't know what it is, because there's some shows. I'll mention it next week, but there's another show I checked out that just came out just came out. I know for sure has a high budget, but awful CGI. And it's, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the artists that are doing it.
Yeah.
How much time they have. I know we talked about there's a lot of crunch with that. But yeah, I mean, I think for TV, I think this is some of the best. Like,
yeah, for sure.
even in Game of Thrones too at the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they have some of the best. Even though they now had 2 instances where they had to patch episodes to take out something.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
I guess they just not work. I mean,
What?
I guess I'm just thinking of like the coffee cup,
Mm.
whatever it was, and it's like, do they just not worry about it? 'Cause like, oh yeah, it's gonna all get CG'd out anyway, or is it like accidentally left it in the frame, and then
How are you gonna accidentally? I mean, leave it in a frame though.
but then and then you're like, editor is like, well, it's the best take, even though, and we can have the guys take it out, and then it doesn't get taken out.
Right.
Like,
That could. Yeah.
that part I could see, but like in production, like, how do you not catch that? And then like, I mean, people make mistakes. Yeah, I get it, but like, I don't know. I just
The other one I told you about makes more sense though, because it's just a CG artist forgetting to do that, right? Because I was telling you it was Viserys. He had like green on his
like that's
his
intentional.
fingers
Yeah,
when they were starting to rot off, right?
yeah.
And so you actually saw they just didn't take it out or whatever.
Yep.
Right. So I feel like that's a little more I feel like that's more likely to happen, right, than the coffee cup thing, because you're constantly looking, I'm sure, in the frame before you're
And people are
filming,
watching
right?
as you're. I mean, there's plenty. There's like
Right.
tons of people watching monitors and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like a standard practice just to let them leave it there because they're going to want to drink it anyway instead of keep trying to pull. I don't know. No, I've never.
Yeah,
been a big
well,
set
that
like
was at the end too. So like, she might have had just some very strict stuff in her contract or writer, where like they didn't want to mess with it. She's just like, I need this coffee here always.
at all times.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so next week, another episode of The Bear, episode 5.
Yep.
Episode 7 of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and then finale of Presumed Innocent. So we'll
Yeah.
probably talk a little more about that.
Yes.
We can
for
compare
sure.
it to the movie a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So if you have any thoughts or questions or feedback for anything we talked about in this episode or previous ones or upcoming stuff, leave us a message or comment, or you can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com. You can also DM Jared and I. I'm at jyoungbar on Instagram.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. We'll catch you guys next time.